Hi there, I'm Aaron Young. Remember when it felt like your iPhone just kept going slower and slower? Well, it may not have been in your head. Known as Batterygate, Apple has agreed to start paying out users following a 2018 lawsuit alleging that they were intentionally slowing down your phone to make you upgrade sooner. For more, we're joined by attorney Andrew Rossow. We thought we were going mad, things were slowing down, but it turns out that actually Apple was deliberately doing it. Is that the case?
Yes, it is. And I think it's a big relief to iPhone users everywhere who, like you said, have thought for a very long time that their batteries were slowing down at weird times right around that new upgrade. And, as a former iPhone user myself, I know I experienced that quite a bit as
Is that
well.
the reason why you are a former iPhone user?
Actually, no. I honestly I felt it was a lot easier to work off an Android device. I went over to Google.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, I guess we kind of look back at that era and we think to ourselves about, I personally think about it, each year it was Steve Jobs and then Tim Cook coming out with a new device telling us this is lightning fast. It's so much faster. You buy the phone, but then coming up towards that year or so later, it isn't really fast anymore. And it felt like there were these software upgrades that were meant to make our lives better and easy with a new tool you just had to have. You'd upgrade and your phone got slower.
Remember, we are all guinea pigs. We are the test subjects. We are the product. So when Apple does release these new features as part of the new iOS upgrades, there's always going to be some feature that requires additional processing, more graphics, more battery usage. And in this case, with where we are right now with emerging tech and some of these new features, it does take a lot more battery power, but it does coincide with why around the upgrade time.
So talk to us about the legal issues here. Why is it illegal for Apple to actually slow down your battery on purpose?
Well, firsthand, it's a consumer privacy concern, right? The fact that Apple technically still has access to each of our devices, right? Whenever there is an upcoming upgrade, to be able to do whatever they need to do to essentially slow that battery down. Another thing is, the fraud and abuse under the Computer and Fraud Abuse Act, right? The unauthorized access of a computer system, in this case, a phone that we use every day, just providing them access. It's problematic. And we kind of do that when we buy into these products.
And it was 2017 where Apple actually finally acknowledged that they were doing this, but they've been fighting it every step of the way. It was a 5-year lawsuit, as you mentioned, to get to this point. And now Apple iPhone users can receive about $65. Some of those who are behind the lawsuit, I understand, Andrew, aren't happy with that and have continued to appeal as well.
I feel for him. I absolutely feel for him. This is arguably one of the biggest or largest cash settlements with respect to this type of technology that we've seen before. And I believe there was around like 3 million claims that were submitted, but actually approved to be eligible for this distribution. It was a range of 300 to 500 million dollars that would be dispersed. But I do think $65 is insulting.
Yeah, it is, because people had to spend $1,000. These days, iPhones are a couple of grand if you want to get a good one to be able to pay for. So 65 doesn't seem like much. The original argument from Apple, from what I understand, is that these lithium batteries, they kind of die out over time, which I think any of us who have any product that isn't even Apple have noticed that as well. But where the problem was for Apple in this one is that they didn't disclose that their iOS software upgrade was also featuring this little trick that would slow down the battery on top of it, making what was a natural problem with lithium even worse.
Yeah, and with these lithium ion batteries, as you said, they do deplete over time. The issue is that users, Apple users, iPhone users were complaining that their phone would often shut down, turn off at 30%, which is weird. It's strange. So even with that type of battery, the ability to turn it off when the phone technically isn't dead, still functional, it's bizarre. And like you said, that's the center of all of this.
Any other phone providers, Samsung, etc., have they been caught up in this?
I don't believe there's been any official legal action that's been taken. I do know with some of these Android devices, I've been a Samsung user in the past, depending on the phone that you have, the battery life is small. The flip device, the fold, right? These are, a small / medium size, type battery.
Yeah, yeah.
So it really just depends on the device.
All right, we'll leave it there. Andrew Rossow, appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having me.
That's a program for now. For more, head to tickernews.co. I hope to see you soon.